As a hooper, there's a lot of space for growth when it comes to working out by yourself, if you do it correctly. However, when it comes to working on your game by yourself, there's a lot of limitations that factor in. So today, let's go over it. Let's talk about it. Let's lock in with me, Coach EG. Yo, ballers, it's me, Coach EG. Before we start, I just want to take the time to just thank God for the platform, the space to be able to share my gift and my passion. This is something new to me. Um, but one of the most common questions that I get asked is, Coach EG, how do I train? How do I get the most out of my development? So today we're gonna go over and talk about it. So first things first, the fundamentals. Fundamentals, right? That is the singular most important thing that you need to do to start off your workout. What does that look like? It's the basic foundation, right? It's the footwork, it's the balance, the hand-eye coordination. It's the things that you do to warm your body up and to get your body kind of active, the blood flowing and stuff like that before you work out. And what's important about it is starting your workout, everything has to be detailed, everything has to be textbook because you want to have a great foundation, a great base, a great starting point when it comes to working out alone. So, what is a few things that we can do to start off our workout, right? For me, I always start off with ball handling because ball handling covers a lot of ground when it comes to footwork, balance, hand-eye coordination, hand activation, a lot of those things. And what I like to do personally is the two ball method, right? I use two ball dribbling drills because it covers that, right? It gets my hand-eye coordination, it gets me my hands active, right? My ball placement, where I'm putting the ball at, the distance between how low I gotta get. It's getting me warmed up and mentally prepared for my workout. And you should break a sweat when it comes to warming up, right? Nothing should be, if you do anything fast paced or full speed, warming up dribbling should be the first one. It should be something that you're getting through. You're not just, lazy with it. You're really trying to get that first initial, get to that second win. That's what you want to do. You want to push past that. And then next, of course, you just want to get your form shots. And when it comes to form shooting, you really want to focus on shooting the ball and focus on locking it in because a lot of people take it for granted, but it's a lot of things that come from form shot that I think form shooting. I mean, that a lot of people take for granted. And what I mean by that, by just basics, footwork, what felt right, what didn't feel right, getting to the shot setup. It's a lot of things that comes from just form shooting that if you utilize it the right way, it's a great help to your game. It's a great way to elevate your game. It's a great way to elevate your shot. So shooting the ball, form shots is a great method. And what I want to explain is when it comes to working out alone, your workout is your workout. It's you versus you. It's your mindset versus your mindset. And that's a big piece that I want to get into is just that mental aspect of what it takes. And that's really what working out alone is. It's a mental battle between yourself. Like it has nothing to do with anything else but mentally, do I want to chase the ball? Do I want to, run after this rebound? That's what it is, truthfully. And that's the answer to the big question. Like, how do I work out by myself? Mentally. Mentally, you have to be prepared. Mentally, you have to push yourself to be ready to work out. That's all it is. So do understand that a lot of working out by yourself comes from just the mental aspect, right? It comes from you and your imagination. And what does that look like? It looks like the intense factor, right? Um, I, the best way I can think about what does intense look like is the Kobe mentality, right? The Mamba mentality. That's the best way I can put that word into a visualization. And what does that look like for me? I wrote it down. To be intense is to have extreme focus, right? To do something with high quality and detail. That's what to be intense to me means, right? So it's not really doing something physically 100%. That's not what I mean. A lot of times when I tell guys to go 100%, they're trying to rush through the drill. Nah, it's doing it at extreme detail, right? Doing something with focus, right? You have to hone in on what you're actually doing because the move might require you only to do about go 40%. It might require you to slow down and process what's going on. You can't do that if you're rushing the rep. And that's what I want you guys to really focus on when you're working out. Stop trying to rush through and just get a sweat. Nah, work on your game. Get the development. Elevate yourself. You know what you have to work on, right? And if you don't know, look at your film. Go ask somebody to critique you. and then go apply it, right? Because your workout is your workout. If the coach say, hey, your ball handling is weak, you should not be in the gym just running around doing ball. No, you have to do things. There's a lot of things out there, ball handling drills with trash bags on them, tennis ball method, heavy ball. It's a lot of stuff that you can sit here and implement. Now that you have the foundation of it, you have to sit here and go apply it yourself. And I tell guys all the time, right? So you're the canvas, right? I'm giving you the canvas, right? Paint the picture. Paint it, right? Make it visualizable, right? Make it look appealing to the eye by working on it, right? So we have to understand that piece of the game, because when we're working out by ourselves, it's different from working out with somebody else. Because when we're working out with somebody else, we're trying to, get to a rep count. We're trying to get to a number. We're trying to, rest through the rep to keep up. And a lot of times you have to understand that these trainers out here, a lot of people are, and I'm not throwing no shade or nothing, but I mean, let's talk about it. It's a lot of people out here working on the wrong thing. If you're a bench player, you should not be working on coming down, getting screens. No, work your way off the bench. So what does the game look like? You're coming in the game, either catch and shoot or making the right. But that's how you have to work out. Don't just mimic what you see somebody else do. Apply it to yourself. Apply it to your situation. That's something that I wish I would have learned coming into the game, right? I wish that I learned how to work out. Nobody ever taught me that. A lot of people did it, but nobody really told you how to work out by yourself. And I don't think a lot of people know how to do it. I just think everybody's mimicking each other. So what I try to do is be as real as I can. I try to tell people, other ways now, because it sounds so different, it's unorthodox. A lot of people don't take heed to it. But I'm not saying what I'm doing is right. I'm not saying the other way is wrong. What I'm saying is, how do you effectively work out by yourself? It's just using the things that I use for myself. It worked for me. Now, it might not work for you, but for a vast majority of people, it does work, because it's not about, like I said, it's not about the physical part. It's mentally. And there's nowhere else that I can sit here and explain on how to work out by yourself other than you have to be inside your head. You have to have imagination. Like, it's reps where you have to imagine, and I have a video out where I asked about, do you have imaginary friends? I asked a player, do you have imaginary friends? And that's an important piece, because when you're on the court, you want to sit here and get so good to where you can imagine what everybody's going to do and where everybody is on the court. And when you do that, right, it makes you better as a player, because now your IQ jumps. That's the part of working out. Like, it's that piece. Okay, so when we talk about, we can talk about the ball handling, the actual drills, we can talk about the actual counts, we can talk about that, but you have to first identify as a player, what is it and what's your capabilities, and then what's your role in the team. What are you trying to do in a game of basketball, right? So once we get that part, you'll be fine. So now let's talk about some things that you can actually do to elevate your game. We talked about how to warm up. We talked about the mental aspect. So now let's talk about the actual drills and things you can do. Like I said, you need to work on every aspect of your game. Here you see me just working on some passing drills. Me as a small guard, I have to be very accurate with passing the ball. So I implement certain things that's important to my position, and work on it. So like I say, you have your passing drills, you have your dribbling drills. It's a lot of things, like I say, that you can implement inside your workout. Here we go into that. We go into the aspect where I talked about imagination. I'm just getting the ball working off my jab. I'm not more so focusing on a shot at the end, because like I said, we're going to miss a lot of shots. But you really want to get into working on that imagination. Like, is the defender pressuring me up? Is he sending me left? Is he sending me right? What is the man in the corner doing? Like, you want to get, that's the imagination piece that you want to see in workout. So for me, it's a lot of footwork. Like I tell you, it's basic. It's foundation. And to other people, it may look corny, but to me, it really helps, and I've seen it elevate my game. And that's just the creativity part, right? You have to get creative with your workouts and see what works and what doesn't work. And like I said, with me being able to shoot the ball and me being able to go downhill, that triple threat coming out of that is very important, because I have to be able to make certain reads that, if you're a 5, right? If you a big guy, you don't have to make that read. Now, your IQ jumps and your stock rises if you understand those reads, but you don't necessarily have to make that read with the ball in hand. So those are the things that I'm talking about. Like, and it still boils back to just the mental aspect, right? So a lot of things is new, a lot of things is different. Like me right now doing the voiceover and trying to do the content thing is new to me, right? Because I'm a very private person to myself, but it's a work in progress, right? I'm working on these things, and I'm not getting out everything right. You're not going to get everything perfect. Like I say, certain shots you're going to miss. You see a lot of my missed shots in these clips, right? You see a lot of things that is off, but I'm working on it. That's what I want you guys to understand. Nothing's going to be perfect. I don't want you guys to think that I'm a perfect guy. I don't want you guys to think that I have the perfect methods to be a better player. I just understand what helped and what didn't help as on my experience of making it and playing basketball. And I'm not saying that like I've been in the NBA and all. It's not that, but I've played in some high level situations, right? And I've played for some great coaches. And I just want you guys to have that understanding too, because I didn't have nobody to tell me that. So everything works off each other. Like I said before, this video is supposed to go a different way, and I had to mentally prepare myself. So everything's a mental battle when it comes to doing things by yourself and on your own, and that's the answer, right? That the answer to how do I work out by myself is mentally you have to prepare. Mentally you have to lock in and focus on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and that's not just for the game of basketball. That's just life in general. So hopefully, I gave you guys some advice, and I actually answered the question. Now, if you guys want to know a workout routine, that's a different video. But like I said, I was just led to give you guys a different aspect, because there's a lot of videos out there of how to actually work out by yourself, and they're not wrong. But a lot of things that I seen missing is the mental part. Nobody really talks about the mental aspect of what it takes to go on working out by yourself. So that's what I just want to present with you guys today. And lastly, give me some feedback. Share some of your thoughts. Like, comment, and subscribe. Also share the videos. This is first of many that we'll have here on Baller Threads. As always, lock in with me, Coach EG. God bless.